Time to get started. Welcome, everyone. This is the TEC Sprint planning for our Sprint 34. 34, wow. Cool. Well, I see a couple people already here. It's Juanca here, Livia, Septi, Tambrip. Would someone like to get us started with their working group? Maybe we can do gravity, transparency, self-talk. Anyone want to raise a hand and
I don't mind getting started. I'm just also trying to, I don't mind getting started. I'm also just trying to pull up what the retrospective actions was yesterday. Opening the Miro board. Just give me one moment. Okay, so it was, start prepare. Okay, so maybe I'll also drop that in here. I can't, it doesn't seem like I can open this board, but okay. I wonder why.
We should get a new one. This is overloading. There's a lot of information in this Miro board.
No, I created a new Miro board. Only the sprint retrospectives are in here now.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've been slowly taking that TEC and everything else and breaking them out into separate boards because exactly that, they've been loading really slow. So this one should load fast. It's just, I think Miro boards are kind of slow to load. All right, so I want to drop this. I don't know. This came out of our retrospective. I don't know how we want to tackle this. Retro action, Sprint 33. So this is start preparing for ETH Barcelona, ETH CC, and ETH Mexico. Have someone to organize a plan, ? So this is what came out of our sprint retrospective, although I don't know if there's somebody that, I don't know actually how we can do anything about this, other than perhaps sort of monitor it in the Stewards Weekly, or have somebody take this on to sort of coordinate the TEC people that will be attending these meetings. Attending these conferences. I don't know if anyone has a better idea than following it up in the Stewards Weekly, or if there's somebody in our community that wants to sort of lead the coordination efforts for this.
I think what we could do is like list down as tasks. Like I think we could use even as our council, like saying what are the tasks and then assign champions for each task that we need to cover, like the events.
I guess the question is, what kind of coordination will we be doing from the TEC, right? Like, do we want to know all of the people from the TEC that are going? Do we want to help them find accommodation? Like, how much coordination do we want to take on as the TEC for the people in the TEC? Like, what is the coordination look like?
For me, the most important thing is like we get some people talking, like who know who's going to talk and do promotion. I think of course like we can also chat like about the accommodation stuff, but for me like the most important is like we are present there, and then start building from there.
Can I say something? Like I don't think I have the skills or the resources to tackle this, but I definitely can help someone with this coordination as I'm in the city. So I would really like to help if in any way that I can.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Costa. In Barcelona, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really helpful. And when Barcelona comes around, which is June, I think? July, and Paris is July. Okay. So I'm going to suggest for this retro action, maybe we just say we'll follow it in the Stewards channel for now. And then if somebody wants to take on more of a leading coordination role, like pulling things together, we can assign that to them. Any objections to doing it that way? Okay, cool. And then I guess I'll go first. I think with stewards, there's not so much. So I have this apply to speak to upcoming conferences. I think anyone who wants to speak should also do the same. We need a new stewards working group funding proposal. So we're covered this month for this next compensation, but then we have 30 days to basically get new compensation. I thought it was an interesting moment for us to rethink different ways that the stewards can, allocate funding or provide compensation to the stewards. I think I'd like to raise it for advice process in the Stewards Weekly, or maybe even a council, and see see how that goes. Let's see what else we have. So I don't know that we're going to use dwork for steward distribution now, because Griff shared a very easy way to do distribution using a CSV file on Gnosis Safe. So that's super simple. The overhead is very, very light. So I think we won't use dwork, but I will close this issue. When we do go ahead.
Yeah, and Gideon and also Enti and myself, we're looking into Clarity as a demo for the financial working group. And from then on, other working groups will be free to use that to do a lot of other things. Like it has bounties. You can create the issue itself. It's like, the way I could describe it is, imagine like a hybrid, like a crypto-native hybrid between GitHub, SendHub, Notion, and Google Docs, and all in one platform. So that's what they're trying to do. We're looking at it. We're not married with it, but we think it's an exciting development, and perhaps I just keep it in back of our minds for later on.
Yeah, same. Chewy and Juanca, I think, are probably the most experienced with dwork right now. They've both been using it. Maybe Chewy's been using it the most so far. But I think we may use it in Communitas because we'll have more bounties. But the stewards working group sort of has fixed roles, and it's very easy to do compensation with a CSV file and Gnosis Safe versus every month setting up the bounties for the new. So low overhead is the goal, I think, for the stewards. Whereas in Communitas, it'd be interesting because we could have community members pick up bounties on the Communitas board. So I feel like that one's a little more compelling.
Okay.
And then so Manu's doing the sprint facilitation. We don't yet have a date for the next introduction to token engineering, so I'll leave this off. The Miro board that Ivy presents, the working group updates, weekly sync agenda. Compensation is happening definitely the sprint, so that's great. Oh, not that one. And then I think this is closed, right? Is this one closed now?
Yes, you can close it. I just commented on it, but yeah, we can close it. I was gonna let Chewy close it because it feels good too, but we can close it.
Okay, I am assuming this is sort of like in the Twitter pipeline or something like that now. Sort of in the distribution pipeline. So that is it for stewards. So it's mainly the regular things that we do, like the weekly meetings and the sprints and the council, and then the funding proposal, which we should have passed by the end of the month would be great, and the applying to talk at some of the conferences. So that's it for stewards.
Okay, thank you, Tam. Cool. Well, who's going to be the next bold?
I can take it. Transparency is short.
You can take it. Okay, accepting.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah. So yeah, this sprint, like Ivy will be searching typos in the audit. That will actually happen like pretty fast. Also, like I'm doing wireframes. I got a lot of help from Tom, Christopher, and Nagen, and I also want to finish those so we can hand over to a designer. And this should also happen like early next week. Milestones. Oh yeah, this is something actually that was from the old sprint, but I couldn't make it. But it's pretty easy, and I will make it. Like it's actually change the templates when people is making proposals. So we make sure like we also add milestones in there. This is also going to happen. We're also working on this communications for quantification process with Chu and Nagen. This is something like we are working on, but we also like need like all the data and stuff so we can push. But we actually were hacking today with Nagen. It's something that is happening, but I'm not so sure. It should be done this spring. It should, but I cannot promise. Then of course, like Bear is doing the recordings, Ent is doing the events. I think the Twitter space, since Nate is at that, is going to be stopped. Maybe we can move it to the Icebox. I don't think it's happening soon. And then, yeah, all these repeating tasks are happening every sprint, as it says in the repeating. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm not leaving anything. Oh, of course, like we have to do payments this sprint. Yeah, sorry, Tonga.
How are you? If you want, everything points towards me helping with quantification, so count on me to put a few
nice.
hours.
That'd be great. I think like you should talk with Mitch. He's actually who's onboarding quantifiers and know everything. But you should activate your praise, and then get ready to quantify. Like it's an awesome experience, and the dashboard is so cool now.
Okay, I'm going to look at the last quantification to see how you do it, and then talk to Mitch and start doing it.
Yeah, thank you, Tonga.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and I'll pass it to you, Manu.
Thanks, Abdi. Okay. Cool. Juanca, are you ready to do gravity?
I can update some issues while talking. And yeah, I am on the one that it says Aragon Outreach. And we are starting our interactions with the Aragon community. We had an AMA last week, and we're bringing support to the calls they're having on Tuesdays on the Umbrella Initiative. We already received 3,000 DAI on our multisig. That's 25% of the total funds that we should receive for this service that we are providing to the Aragon community. And they will be participating in the Graviton training. And we will also, after the Graviton training, we will be having like a sort of a practice groups to practice what we learn in the Graviton training and help their group to gain more competence in case management. And we'll yeah, that's sorry, practice groups. That's my comment on this Aragon Outreach, and we will continue this sprint. Also on Gravity at DevConnect, it was really cool to present at the Daoist. We didn't save the recording, but there was this article that was posted 19 hours ago by someone called Gaia that talks about this presentation, and it was really cool. She says, "Here comes a new lens. Conflict arises when there is diversity." And yeah, it's really cool to be featured in an article, even by someone who is kind of external to this project. So it was really cool. I will be sharing this link in the Stewards chat. But yeah, I really liked that's something that I did. Other people like write about it. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that is great.
Um. Also, we met with Angela and with Juan David and Nats that are also from the Colombia community, and we decided, and we are trying to make closer or bring closer the Colombia community to the TE Academy. So we will be creating a group between the TE Academy and the Colombia community to not only plan events for DevCon, but also try to have more people participating in the educational opportunities. Around promoting the research group on psychology and mental health, this week, NT found a survey made by Talent DAO that is made to measure the DAO health. So we will be iterating in this with this survey to try to apply it in the community and find some patterns about our DAO health, and also with that patterns try to propose some actions to improve our health, and at the same time to continue applying this tool within some period of time, so that we can see how the health of of our ecosystem fluctuates. Um, I really would like to praise Enti for finding this. I think it's a really well-designed tool. So yeah, we will be iterating on this tool to apply it to our community. And also what I think that it's cool that it's a tool that is not designed by our community is that we can compare results with other communities that use the same tool. So yeah, everyone, please, if you have time, check this out. It's really cool, and we will be doing this survey.
Is this the link to that here, this Mirror XYZ?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
it's a super cool tool. And yeah, preparing the Graviton trainings. I think that we will be posting the study plan the 3rd of May. Yesterday, I had a call with Livy, and we had an idea of making modules, of organizing the training per modules, and also to make like some presentation, so that it's not only like us giving information, but that people can show the practice and the putting in practice and the usage of the toolings that we are giving them. So we will try to make like giving an assignment for the gravitons, that is mapping a conflict. That's like the final test that they will have to present. Choose any conflict that they would like to have, but use the framework that we are giving them to analyze that conflict. On Amsterdam, we had a meeting with Sam. We talked about unbreakable vows, but we haven't had the call in One Hive last week. Neither this week. I think next week we will continue with that. One of the things we were talking about were on the part of the design, that we would like to have a designer to help us like make prettier our page.
I have an update on that. Some actually have 3 designers, and 1 designer will be responsible for each part of the unbreakable vows.
Okay, that's really cool. And yeah, we are already like with the part of the first 3 templates, and they are working on the encryption side. And yeah, I think that's it. We with Septi on Monday I will sync to make the distribution of this past month in Gravity. And with Gitcoin, we have been also talking with Lowy and Alp about like how are did we make the pricing of our services, because they are also trying to make the pricing of their services. And yeah, I think that's it from this sprint that I can think of.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Juanca. Just to double check, all those outreaches for Giveth, for One Hive, for VitaDAO, it's not something that you're going to be working on for this sprint?
No, I think they will be participating in the Graviton training, and maybe after the Graviton training, we will consolidate more this outreach. But these are communities where we have had like certain proximity. In Giveth, Benz and is leading the efforts, and he has already led one case, so that's really cool. And in VitaDAO, they expressed a lot of interest, but they said that after the Graviton training, that they would be more interested. And there are also 2 things that don't have issue, but I will create them. And one is that Durgadas will be designing the page of Gravity. We want to make a page, and Durgadas and Aloysius will be taking that. And also that with Bear, we will be also working on organizational development, trying to have like our own mission, vision, and values in Gravity, and being more of an organization.
Cool. Thank you, Juanca. All right, we're up next. Libby, are you ready to do SoftGov now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so from the new issues that are coming in, support financial working group organization, just more in the structuring part. And then plan and have a roadmap for the ecosystem health development. I think before I was, oh, I put the wrong link there. Or no? Oh, this is Tam. Sorry, Tam. I'm looking at your screen. Let me.
Okay.
I can share my screen too. And then you can work on something else. Hold on.
Awesome. Thanks, Livia.
Yeah. So plan and have a roadmap for the ecosystem health development. I wrote that forum post because it felt like it was too many streams starting to organize. It took a while to take shape in my mind, and now I see that as a bigger project than I thought it would be. So this week I have some calls with Gwei and just trying to understand from a data side how it's possible to do that. And I'm getting a lot of support from people, which is cool. And then it's related with this map out data streams for karma. And then Benz, I don't know if Benz is already here in the Zen Hub. Let me see.
Something Something I want to say, Lydia. I just had an onboarding call yesterday with Shardul, just in this call as well, and he expressed an interest to help within SoftCup. So if there are any issues that you're going through them, maybe you need a little bit of help with them, then Shardul can quickly say if he can help with that. Again, it's I can help you get incorporated into. It's not like, hey, you just got on board yesterday, now you're assigned to an issue and it's completely your responsibility to deliver it. It's a gradual process, but yeah, feel free to raise your hand, Shardul, as Livia is going over the issues that Softco is going to be working on for this sprint. And again, have in mind that I'll help you. I'll help you as a liaison between Softco and Livia and the work you do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love
Sorry,
to
go
have
ahead.
you more involved, Shardul. Something that we've been doing in SoftGov for people to just like easily plug in is we created this cultural streams. So let's see if it's here. Yeah, so we had a call to just map some things that should have more attention culturally in our community. So race and gender, religion, ancient forms of knowledge, psychology, mental health, personal development, open source culture, and documentation. And this is something easy to plug in, I think, if there's a topic that you're interested in, and just bring a proposal to SoftGov to how to explore more that topic in the community, and then start proposing initiatives. So I can, if you're interested, you can let me know after this call and we can see what would be like something interesting for you to plug in. Okay, so moving forward, update the covenant. So I updated this period for advice process in our governance page in the forum. But then there was a talk we had about including a reputation threshold. Like these types of things, I didn't go deep into exploring them. Griff, did you have any updates on the covenant today or something that?
Yeah, there's a Google Doc that we're updating, and we definitely added some updates today.
Okay, nice.
Do you have that Google Doc?
I do. Yeah, I created
cool.
that last week. Yeah.
Great. Cool.
Cool. Okay, I think, well, Bright ID integration just as an update in reputation system stayed kind of in the icebox just because reputation started to feel more complex than just writing a forum post about it. I've been researching into it, and I think the ecosystem health could be a good piece for the reputation system. So I don't know if anyone thinks we should like start with something more simple and just test it out, and then it's something that can be done like relatively fast. But then in the future integrating with Bright ID, it was just too confusing now with the amount of threads that are happening in the reward system.
Could this somehow be related to this idea of having a non-monetary token? Back from the first praise debate when we approved the idea conceptually but didn't have a technical solution for it yet? Could they somehow be one and the same?
Yeah, I actually talked to Griff about this last week, but we don't have the dev power to realize that proposal. So the idea would be having a non-financial token that is based on the reputation, the reward system. But then I think the reward system is somehow a poor signal for a full reputation system. And then that's why I was thinking the TEC ecosystem health based on Ostrom's principles could also have another score that is kind of what Karma proposes. And then a mix of those scores could be our reputation system. So I put in the ice box because it felt like it was dependent on a project that is a little bigger that needs some development for the ecosystem health. But then I'm asking now if we would like to use just a reward system score and then test out a reputation system just based on that score.
I think so. I think we can always add more inputs to the reputation token, but having multiple reputation tokens, I mean, I've never seen something with multiple reputation scores, right? The whole point is to get one score. Amazon score, Uber driver score, whatever. They don't have like your cleanliness score. Like they'll break it down, but it's always going to one score. And so I think the solution isn't having like necessarily multiple reputation tokens, but instead it's having multiple reputation inputs to create the token. And and so we can start with, I mean, just to keep the scope digestible, you start with one input, and then we add more and we add more, and we can already start with one input from the 75% thing. And so we could just issue a token with that, and that we would have the dev power to do, just issue a reputation token based off of the 75% score thing. And then we could also have it be added to by praise. And then we can consider other inputs and how to manage those inputs, like the issuance levels for each input,
Yeah.
That becomes the question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely it wasn't the idea to have multiple reputation tokens. It was just multiple inputs to one token.
Couldn't it be a garden on the Linkedy network or something free, like the token? Or it's too weird? I don't know.
I'm not sure I understood your question, but from my understanding, the idea was to create a reputation token to start using it to vote off-chain, like on Snapshot.
Yeah, and we could use it to vote on Snapshot. We couldn't use it to vote in the garden without major dev support, but Snapshot we could.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will add this to this print to at least have a draft. And I think that's it. Oh, here, okay. I took myself out of this issue, Juanca, just because I think we had enough conversations about it to have, and I think you have more understanding on what the direction of gravity would be to create some boundaries for what we've been talking about, like how gravity acts within the TC and external projects. So the suggestion was to have a list of projects that provide public goods for token engineering that could be in the scope of gravity while being funded by the TEC, and then have some type of a letter for projects that are out of the scope of the TEC that are, with a disclaimer that the mediations are not all related with the TEC community or branding, and we can discuss more of that, but I thought you would have more insights into it, so I assigned to you. Is that cool?
Okay, Livy. Yeah.
And then
Cool. Thank you. Livia.
Yeah, thank you.
That's it, right?
And then this collab with Communitas to create awareness to proposals, it spanned into that async management work that Auntie proposed. So I added here. I think maybe this issue could be renamed or something. I'll talk to Auntie about it and perhaps add him to here so he can own the issue. Because we just made this link of like lack of proposal engagement with our lack of async structure. And so I'll put this in.
Yeah, I think that has a bit to do with the bot BBB. They plan on finishing for the next 2 weeks.
Which bot? What is the bot, Tonga, you talked about?
Yeah, he was muted.
Okay.
You should.
Maybe someone who knows better. It's better to not talk about the bot.
If you want to send me a message, I would love to understand what you're thinking. And is this what you added, Griff, today? The proposal and challenger terms to the covenant?
I thought that was added already, and we're adding some content, some other stuff like the content management, content ownership clarifications. But
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that stuff was already added like a week ago. I thought
Okay.
so, but I don't do it. I'm just here because I go to the legal calls. Ivy manages this.
Yeah, I'll check with Ivy then. Okay, that's it. Thanks, Manu.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think left we have Mitch for rewards. Are you ready to
Yes. I'm just
do your issues?
catching up.
Eduardo, I think, is going to be able to join us at the top of the hour, but maybe, Mitch, if you need a little more time, maybe Costa and I can cover for Communitas.
I have to drop at the top of the hour, so actually let's do this.
You got it.
Yeah. So I'm just going through my issues now here and adding the source code params to the template. I think Mateo's got this covered, but I'll need to follow up with him. Sorry, I just looked at this board. I'm like, oh.
No problem.
Sprint planning.
No, yeah,
What's that?
I know that this is your first sprint planning as the steward of the rewards working group. So no,
Yeah.
I know that. But so basically it's like, do you think that will happen in the next 2 weeks? The source code params. If we think it's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, we'll drag it to the sprint
Yeah.
pipeline. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just probably most of the stuff is going to happen this sprint. Like we're looking at doing quant payout beginning of next week, so we should definitely have it promoted by the end of the sprint. And I think I don't remember if I delegated that to you, Zepti, or to Chewy to do the comms around this, or maybe it was Nugget.
Yeah, it's me, Nagin, and Shui. Actually, me and Nagin were working on it today.
Okay, great. And so I'll just put you and Nugget on there, and then yeah, we can assume that this will be promoted this sprint.
Yeah, actually, we just Nagin just said there was something with the data, and so we need to wait actually for Christopher to give us the data, then we can. But we were doing templates just an hour before this call.
Yeah, and some of the stuff is just like new issues that we don't have a clear direction with. So I can icebox this one here. But like we have it on a radar, but I can't give any clear updates. The first quant analysis to the form, I'm assuming, yeah, Nuggin. This will come with the first payout, Septimus?
Oh yeah. Everything is good. Like we do the analysis and then the form post all together.
Yeah. So we detail the payouts and then we have the analysis. And those are 2 posts or 1 post?
1 post.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And then it's going to be like 1 post that is going to get updated every 2 weeks.
Cool. That's good. Yeah. Setting up params with reward board. I think this will be done. The sprint. First quantification parameters. I think this is done. This was your post, Zep.
Yeah, we can close that.
Yeah, so this is closed. Nice. Cool. Chewy's working on the animated tutorial. The meeting tracker bot is still in development. Old QA. This is old. This is like when we were first setting it up, so I think we put this away. And the Twitter tracker bot is still like, I think we're still in kind of the technical validation phase of how exactly we're going to do this. If I'm right, Livy, looks like you're the last person to follow this.
Distracted. What is the question?
That's okay. The Twitter tracker bot looks like you're the last one to comment on the thread. I think it's still being developed. We don't really know.
Yeah, the Twitter tracker bot is still in draft, so it's gonna be the one to take longest.
Yeah, for sure. Brighta integration. I think this is like post MVP, so
Yeah, that's the one I put in Icebox.
yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So I mean, in general, a lot of this stuff is just going to be solved probably early, mid next week when we actually do the first payout and then we document it all. And then after that, I'll probably just make some more issues and follow up with what we're going to do post MVP for the reward system.
Actually, I'd like to say something. Like yesterday, come in the how we call it, the analysis of the praise that actually like there was a praise on Livy that 2 people that I don't know who the names, but it doesn't matter. Like was quantifying her, 2 were not praising it, and then it was like she was doing a conference talk, and then people were giving her like points like it was joining a meeting. Like it was pretty weird. And yeah, that came this idea of challenging my praise results somehow, and I think like that should be something like we should integrate. So I mean, yeah. We're talking.
No, that's great, and like I was gonna bring it up to the next reward system call.
Okay, cool.
Because like it's a good idea on paper, then we kind of have to like figure out. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
How does that work? Yeah. No, that's a good point, though. Yeah, in general, like those review sessions have been really great, and turnout's been like 8 to 10 people. I think they're going really well. Yeah. Cool. Anyone have any questions for reward system this sprint, or did I do the thing the way it's supposed to?
Yeah, you did great.
Okay, cool. All right. I'll be more ready in 2 weeks, I promise. Cool. I'll pass it back to Manu.
Thank you, Mitch. Yeah, well, Tam, we can do communitas. I can help. I know the issues that were on this sprint. So, yeah, Costa will know some of the issues that Ed is working on, and we can just all do it instead of him. So.
Yeah. And do we know if he's going to be able to hop on for comms, or are you covering comms today, Manu?
I think he's still on the Europe trip.
I
So-
think he's on the train way to my
He's
home.
on the train to Septi's village. Correct.
Oh,
Yes.
cool. Excellent. Oh, that's so nice to hear. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I can do. Yeah, I can do. Count for truth.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll then start with Communitas. So I think it makes sense for us to use D-Work in Communitas, since we'll have compensation for roles, but also maybe bounties for the community. The FAQ for Gitbook, maybe I'll check in. I know that Costa, you said that you're having an issue. Yeah, this is it. He created some changes, but they're under review, and I'm not able to approve the changes. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I know Nate's like our Gitbook expert. Maybe Zep, you know how we can approve Costa's changes to the Gitbook?
It's sorry. It's actually like the two different issues that are kind of blocked by this thing of having permission. Is the FAQ for the Gitbook that it's done and I uploaded it on the issue. It's the second link, but I have not put it on the handbook because I don't have permission to. I have permission to do the changes, but the changes are not being accepted. And the same thing happens for the Gitbook audit, that I did the changes like dead links, gaps, and stuff, but the changes are also pending to be accepted.
I'll do that now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think like if
Thank you.
Costa's working in there, like we just could give him access, right? Like do the poll and stuff, and yeah. And yeah, in the handbook I do not have access. It's just Nate. So the handbook ones cannot. I don't know if you Livy have access to that, but the Gatebook, yes, Livy and I have access in here from this call, and in the handbook I think it's just Nate.
Why is there a handbook in
I mean the
Gitbook?
TC source. That's a project that Nate was pushing.
I think he integrated with the Gitbook a while ago. Or is it still being separate?
The last time I edited that, I had Nate to approve it, and I had access to the Gitbook. So I don't know. It's in one page, but I feel it's split it somehow. Maybe it's not, but that's what I thought.
Maybe I'm miswording because I don't know exactly how it goes, but it's the title of the webpage is TEC Handbook, but the URL says Gitbook. I don't know if that's relevant.
This TC source that Tom is showing, I think this is just Nate, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, the idea of TEC source was really to have like active documents that are here, and then the TEC handbook was more evergreen, things that don't change a lot. I think that was the idea behind having source, have all of the working groups have a really sort of active presence on Gitbook. You know, the place to find the mission, vision, and values, and the weekly agenda, and these kinds of things for each of the working groups. And then the handbook is more high level about TEC. I feel like that was the separation that was made there. In any case, though, yeah, I do agree it would be great if Costa could have access to edit it. Or maybe Costa, now that you know, if you run into the issue again, or if you make an edit again, you can maybe reach out to Livia, who is able to accept requests.
Yeah, both ways are fine for me.
Okay. I'm going to drag then the Gitbook changes here then into this sprint, since it seems like that's something you're going to continue to work on.
Yeah, and
okay.
Sorry, I would also do the same with the FAQ, because still it's not added to the handbook because of the permissions.
Okay, maybe we sort that out now then. You are adding an FAQ somewhere in here?
Yes, because at the end there is kind of one FAQ, but it's only focused around legal.
So you want to put an FAQ here. Oh, the legal
I
FAQ,
would,
I see.
and I would like to add a section called FAQ and include the legal FAQ plus the document that I built on the issue.
Got it. Livia, is that something you think makes sense and can help with?
Well, we have a small process for giving permission to people to use things. I think it feels like everyone who would vote is here in this call, so
Yeah,
maybe
I'm making the
make-
poll just now anyway.
Okay,
But
cool. So I'll give you access soon, Costa.
Thank you.
Can you
Okay.
send me your email on DM?
Yep.
Cool. And yeah, I think it makes sense for us to put the FAQ here too. I think FAQ and additional resources doesn't actually have an FAQ in it. Or it does maybe about the hatch only. Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks. Maybe we'll keep going then. Calendly for orientations. This exists now, right? We just haven't published it. Do maybe Manu or Costa, can you drop the link in here? Is it like guides at TEC, Calendly?
I will. Yes, I will. I'll drop it right now.
Yeah, like that was the one we ended up going with. Nope, it's not. Okay. Yeah, and then we can close it. I guess it would be great if we could publish it places. Maybe inside the handbook would be not a bad place, or I don't know where the right way to do this would be. We probably want to put it in the pinned messages on Discord for at least for the channel orientation, the orientation channel. So maybe we can drop the link in there and then we could pin it to the top as well. So anyone who wants to reserve some time with a guide knows where they can do it. Survey bot. Oh, cool. Thanks. Outreach for praise activation. I guess.
I can say something about that. I'm doing that with Edu, and all the people we had in our Excel file were contacted. But today he sent me another file from some missing people from that Excel file. So this will be done by next spring, probably this week.
Cool. So I'll just drop this in this week. Can we reach out to the proposals and advice process on the forum? I don't know what the status is with this. I don't think anything's been done on it yet. Maybe I'll just leave that. There was just there were proposals that submitted like forum proposals before we hatched. So before or during the hatch, before the hatch and during the hatch. And I wonder if we should just close this instead of reaching out to them. But I'll let Eduardo figure that out. Workflows for the TEC and his people is still in progress. This is what Eduardo and Gideon have been working on. Funding proposal, that's when we have to do the sprints. Same thing with Communitas, the 3 months is up, so now we need to do a new funding proposal. Costa, what about canned answers for common questions for guides? I know we built this. Is this something we should close or?
No, not yet. I feel sorry I haven't done the final edit, and I don't want to say I'll do it next spring and not do it again. So maybe we can put it on hold for a bit because I really feel bad about it.
I'll leave it in the product backlog. No problem. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely like, not the burning priority. It's just a way to help future guides on board into being a guide. So if there's somebody who wants to guide and we're like, oh, here's all the most asked questions. So when you come across these questions, this is what you can say. We'll leave it in the product backlog. Coordination with PEA. This is something I think Eduardo is still working on.
Yeah, that's for this sprint. It was on last sprint. So
Okay,
it's
cool.
ongoing, yes.
Processing of the community data. So Zep, you are identified in here. Oh, Ben's in Gene. Oh, okay.
I was doing it very long time ago, but then Benz and Ginacy took it.
Okay. Yeah, and it seems to me, I don't remember this was something like, I guess this was back to like, hey, we need to scope out what it is we're trying to capture and then see what we want to capture. I don't know. This was really something Ben's was working on though, right?
Hello. Can I support
Hey,
on this?
Eduardo. What good timing. Just as we're doing Communitas.
So this has been taken by, yes, as you mentioned, by Ben's. Ginacy, I think it's more working on the back, but yeah, Ben has taken over this. Livy and Gideon had a meeting regarding this. So I think he would just keep working on this. There is no other update besides that. We sync with Livy on this and start working on a document. What we can do is to add the document to this GitHub issue, because the new document that we are working, I think it's not there.
Yeah, that would be great, actually. Let's drop it in here, and then we'll bring this one in too. All right. I'm passing to you, Eduardo.
Sorry,
You must have reached your hotel.
Can I make a request on that issue just for all stewards here to, if you have any data stream that you know your working group is capturing, or if there's anything in the TEC that you see that is capturing any type of data that you have awareness of, please send our way. Send to Ben's or to me, and that would be very helpful. Thank you.
So I tag Manu on the link to the issue, so you can. I just tag you Manu. It's on the Communitas. It's a document that Ben shared as we were working.
Yeah.
Right. What's next?
Livia, sorry, just to go back to that for a minute. Livia, did you have anything specific in mind? Like the clear ones are sort of Discord, forum. Did you have anything else in mind?
Yeah, for example, Transparency has been using Dunes for some analytics. And then there's also the data from the Transparency audits. And then Gravity has the cases that they've been mapping, successful cases, unsuccessful cases. I would like Communitas has the onboarding stuff, retention rates.
Okay, got it. I get the idea. Thank you. All right, Eduardo, back to you.
So there is a I don't remember if we closed that one, but the one for guides can answer for common questions, I think it can be closed. Costa can correct me on this, but I think it should, like, it's already.
Yeah, I
sort of
correct you.
classified.
We've put it on backlog because it still needs a final edit.
There you go. And then the other one that should be reopened or closed on or open up and working on is the outreach to the praise activation. Mitch sent me a list of at least 200 more people that needs to be outreach. So that didn't stop. And I think for the next,
we also updated this.
Okay, all right, never mind.
Costa's on top of all of this. Okay, I'm going through the product backlog, and maybe we can have a look and see if there's anything in the product backlog that comes into this sprint, or if there's anything to be added. I don't see maybe the integrate quantification into the onboarding journey. This is maybe something that we can pull into this sprint.
Yes, I think we talked on this in the last Communitas call. Gideon and I sort of agree on I agree. We proposed an option for integrating this, so that should be done this sprint. Also, the Communitas Manifesto. Gideon is just waiting for anyone to review it. But since we haven't had time to sync on one-on-one, I haven't had time to sit down and double check with someone else. And then the retroaction, the Gardens party, we have not been able to sync with Griff and so yeah, that needs to happen one way or another, but it needs to happen.
So should we just try to make something happen now? Like, is this like, could we do this like as a monthly thing? Like Gardens voting party, and just at least put something on a monthly schedule rather than try to do something more frequently than once a month?
I mean, I think we can do it every 2 weeks. I guess I'm missing the need at some point.
It
But
should be.
yeah, well, I mean, I feel like we could do it. We could do it on Fridays.
I feel like this can create bias, like the people hosting the call. I don't know. Doesn't feel right.
So if I remember correctly, the original idea was to create a space. I mean, the retroaction came from the idea where we would want to encourage more discussion. Oh, am I lagging?
No, I think it's Edu.
Okay. So we want a place to create more conversation, discussion, and also answer questions about the proposals. So to have a place where we always have at least something in the calendar where people can bring their questions or just hear about the proposals. That was the idea, right, Edu?
Correct.
I mean, I guess if we decide we're going to do it, we should do it, or we should close this and decide not to do it.
I'm definitely down to do it. I think there were just took a vacation, and then there were just some random things that happened where it didn't get scheduled, and da. So, but I think we can pick a date and time and make it happen.
If we do it,
yeah.
I was going to say, if we do it every 2 weeks, we could have one of the time slots here for the sprint planning. So we have one Friday we have a sprint planning. The next Friday we have one of these hours be this Gardens party thing.
Yeah, that would work for me. 6 p.m. Europe time on Friday after the labs and psychology call. Every other week.
Retro is on Thursday.
Yeah, I will suggest to not make it on Friday. Sorry, I may insist on this.
I think this is where we end up with problems, because I have Friday's my day, man. At least to get something in Euro time. Yeah, I guess we're back to square one on Calendly and see what we can find, because it's not pretty.
So do you want to take this on?
Yeah.
Sprint, Eduardo? Locking a date for the first one. Just kick it off, see how it goes. If it doesn't work, we can stop doing it. If it works, that's kind of great.
I agree. Let's try on Friday and see on the same meeting. Just we will check if it's people will prefer another time or not. But yeah, let's try on Friday.
Okay, I'll set it for the same time as this call, so it'll be alternating Fridays.
Okay, I'm going to throw it into the sprint so that we can do promotions and let people know that it's happening. Maybe even say what proposals will be around to be discussed. And that you're okay to keep on your plate, Eduardo?
Yeah. The other one that I will propose to create, it's the submission for two proposals, the proposals of the journey user that we want to do with Gideon. We want to propose this sprint, and the proposal for the trivia game on the trivia game. So those two things should be also happening in this sprint. I don't know if we need an issue for submitting the proposal, or should be fine. Just
yeah, for sure. And they're both funding proposals, right?
Correct.
Okay. Just what is the onboarding experience proposal going to cover?
Oh no, sorry. That's not that's seeking for advice process. That one is not for funding because
Okay, got it.
that
Okay,
is
got
just
it.
for. Yeah, that's it.
Cool, got it. All right. Anything else we want to add here?
No, I would just request if Manu can create these issues that I just mentioned because I don't have GitHub on this computer and I don't have access to GitHub on this computer, so I cannot create them. Apologize for that.
I will do it
Yeah.
now, actually.
I got you. Well, he got you. Cool.
Yeah, and maybe Manu, you want to start are you able to cover comms, or have we reached the end?
yeah.
I guess we have to do legal as well. Maybe we do legal as well, but it ends up being fast with Griff.
Sure. Comms going to be pretty fast. If anything, I'll just sync with Chewy and add whatever does not get put on this call. But for legal, I know the biweekly call was I think an hour ago, 2 hours ago. I believe Bruno was there, Bear 100. Although I don't want to put you on the spot because you might not be aware on the issues. So I guess I'll do comms right now, and then we'll see what we do with legal. So, okay.
So we want to go for comms?
Yeah.
Let's go for comms.
Okay. Cool. So, let's see.
So I guess distributing the OneHive video since it's live now.
Yeah.
Comms team down support for proposal inverter. Probably that continues since that's a very active project.
Yeah, setting up the work platform for teams as projects.
Okay.
Yeah, retro action plan for high outreach for educational events. Around community security improvements. I don't know if that's done with Rose. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I closed that one. Working group funding proposal.
Hey Griff, can you mute?
Oops, sorry.
Presentation. This presentation are work in progress with you. I don't know all that's true about that one. Podcast or news update. I don't know, it's an issue way old, number 8.
Maybe it's a better idea than if you do a sync with Chewy early next week, just to update the sprint board with the active comms. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, and maybe we hop to legal, and yeah, is there anything, Griff, for legal for this sprint, or is it sort of just as usual? Legal implications of revenues coming from, yeah, I feel like all of these are just staying in the product backlog. Okay.
Sorry, did you call on me for legal?
Yeah, but it didn't. I think that, is there anything that legal working group has planned for these next 2 weeks, or are they just doing sort of business as usual?
The biggest thing that we're gonna have to figure out is payment for our legal advisors, and that's going to go on the agenda. It's just for updates. That's going to go on the agenda for next week, and I think the updating the covenant is probably the biggest thing. There is, I think, is there anything below that? Sorry, I don't have the board up. Is there anything? I think that, yeah.
TEC content ownership. I feel like that's a, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like that's almost done. So I'm pretty sure that will be done this sprint. I think it is done. It's ready it's being reviewed, and it's like we're just figuring out exactly where to put it, whether or not to put in the covenant or not. That was like a big topic of the discussion today.
Cool. Okay, cool. I guess Manu and I can just have a quick look to see if there's anything that slipped. Dune widgets not complying to start and end dates. I don't know, Zeptimus, do you think that this is going to be something that comes into this sprint? It wasn't tagged with transparency working.
Oh, yeah, that's done actually. Like, yeah.
Cool.
GH is a hero. Praise him.
Cool. Let's see. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. No, there aren't a lot of new. Okay. Excellent. It looks like we have our sprint. Yay. Maybe we end early, but before we do end, what are you looking forward to most this weekend? Hey, Craig. Welcome.
Okay.
Do you want to get us started? We're just wrapping up the sprint planning, and maybe we'll end with just sharing what we're looking forward to most this weekend. Do you want to kick us off?
Sure.
Oh, we can't hear you anymore. Okay, well, maybe I'll pass it to Wonka. Do you want to kick us off with what you're looking forward to most this weekend, other than getting ready for the new sprint?
Yeah. I will be going with Brussels, to Brussels with Danny and Nini. That is the friend that is hosting us here in Eindhoven. And yeah, that I'm excited about seeing the mannequin piece. And I'll pass it to Griff.
G weekend. It'll be a good weekend. I'm actually going to meet up with Blair tonight, so that's really exciting. I don't know if you remember Blair V, who was participating in TC early on. But yeah, so that'll be fun. Get a little in real life TC action, and then also going to do some drumming. And honestly, I'm really excited to push this. We have like a big push in Giveth for this regen pool plus like one branded stable token plus Angel Vault, which is like a UniV3 structured thing. And I'm definitely going to try to take some time this weekend to work on the outline for that of what everything needs to be done and finalize the roadmap and just get it done so that we can execute on everything. I honestly, I'm very much looking forward to that. I'll pass it to Matt Manu.
Thank you. Blair, is Blair still in grassroots economics, Griff?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. That's awesome. Love that project. Yeah, for me, I'm looking forward to. I bought a Bowser outfit because my nephew has like a Super Mario face, so I'm gonna be playing Bowser. And I'm just gonna like surprise him on Sunday. I'm just gonna arrive at Bowser and just attack him, and he's gonna be dressed up as Mario because I'm gonna tell his parents to remind him that Mario is his favorite hero right now. So we're gonna have some epic fights, and we'll see what happens to Peach afterwards. That's pretty much it. And I'll pass it to Septi, which is expecting Chewy pretty soon in his village.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you. Actually, Sam is also here. Tomorrow there is like cultural day in the village. Like we wake up at 6 a.m. Then we go a walk on a place that the old village, were there. And then yeah, we just get dinner there in the nature, get some food, then walk. People drink. Yeah, it's pretty chill. And then we come by walk again. And then yeah, on Sunday maybe we go to the river. The temperature is good. Yeah, hanging out in real life is good. Yeah, and I'll pass it to Mike.
Thank you. I shall be planting trees, planting food, and making music. So that's my typical weekend for me. And I'll pass it to Tonga.
Hello, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to also going to the mountains with my dogs, sometimes with friends, sometimes alone. I don't know, depends on them. And then after that, I like to go to the gym, and yeah, nothing else. I'll pass it to Libby.
Thank you. Oh, that sounds so lovely, Mike. Food and music, all of your plans. I'm pretty much in a cocoon recently, and I'm enjoying staying this way. So yeah, I think I'll just stay home. I've been doing a detox, so I'm also not like full energy for exploring. And that's it. And I'll pass to Jean.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks, Ms. Libby. Thank you for letting me hang out inside the room and listen in on the sprint planning. It's really cool learning to learn about the process. Yeah, looking forward this weekend to catch up on correspondences and go through the forums since I have not been doing that lately. I just started a new medication the last 4 days, and yeah, it's really helping. So yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up with everybody. So yeah, thanks, and pass to Miss Dan. That's one.
Cool. I am looking forward to a lot of things this weekend. So the maybe the dorky side is that it's the last week for nominations for the Commons Prize. So I'm meeting with some of the stewards of the DeSci community, DeSci World, I think it's called, tonight, right after this, to try to answer questions and encourage decentralized science commons nomination. So I guess this weekend I'll be thinking a lot about this Commons Prize. Tomorrow we're doing a egg hunt. There's somebody, a good friend is arranging a big egg hunt somewhere a little far away on one of these Bordeaux chateaus. So it's going to be like wine and picnics and kids running around. So I guess I'm really looking forward to that too. And the weather's just been absolutely perfect, sunny, and I think I'm really looking forward to having spring and almost summer in this weekend. So I think we'll be outdoors a lot. And I'll pass to Bear. I think it's just Livia. Oh no, Livia, you went. No, that's it. We're done. Cool. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks Manu for facilitating this, and thanks everyone for spending time with us today. And I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, everyone.